Welcome back to Fire and Smoke, Blight and Bloom. We are Phillip,
Abby,
Blake, Ethan, Eric,
also known as Dungeon Master.
Odessa Vandiver,
Randolph Higdon, Scratch, Sleaze.
On the last episode, the Furries had just been stopped by bobcats who were stalking them through the woods. They began to move towards the group as the group stood in darkness with only torchlight flickering in the rain that was coming down around them. Bobcats were seeking to kill. They initiated an attack. Quite stupidly. Bad tactics, not thought through. And the Furries really put Chops in their place. After preparing attacks and getting ready for combat, because Chops started too far away, before she could even get a hit in with her dangerous, powerful, elongated tail, you put the sister on the ground. Her brother ran into the trees after taking some swipes, and then you guys chased him through the woods. He wasn't on death's door, but he made a decision in that moment, knowing his sister was dying, and he began to run off through the canopies, leaping from branch to branch with a subtle elegance.
So I have a question. If I saw him start to run, could I have done an insight check or something to see if he's even thinking about trying to obfuscate where he's going, or if he's just heading in a straight line trying to get somewhere as fast as possible?
It was clear that he was running parallel to the road as you saw him take off before he exited the torchlight. You know the road goes to Slate Cut.
Okay.
As Chops ran off, exerting himself, taking on a level of exhaustion to move fast, Scratch gave chase in order to scare him off and make sure that he had to put in all he had to get away. So Scratch is running off into the trees at this moment. The three of you, Odessa, Sleeves, and Higgs, are standing around as the rain comes down harder and harder. It pours down now. You stand on the muddy earth, surrounded by trees, as the torch begins to be snuffed out by the water. You are in darkness. You know Chops is close by, unconscious on the road. Sleeves, you have dark vision. So even though you're in total darkness right now, you can see as if it's dim light. So you will be able to help guide them. The issue is, if you all stay out in the rain, if you don't either find some kind of shelter or construct some kind of shelter, you will take on effectively a level of exhaustion just from being out here. You didn't take on that one from trying to push yourself to Slate Cut because you got stopped before that could happen. But if you stay out all night in the rain, you're going to take on a level of exhaustion as opposed to losing hit points, because it's something that fatigues your body rather than hurts you.
Mm-hmm. And if we pushed on to Slate Cut, we would take 2 levels of exhaustion?
I didn't say that, but yes, that was what I had in mind.
Okay.
Because you're pretty far from Slate Cut at this point.
How far are we from B's house?
You're closer to B's house than you are to Slate Cut, but it's not close by. To get there, I'd probably keep it at... That's the amount of time spent outside that would take on a level of exhaustion. It wouldn't be 2, but it would be 1. Additionally, I had some NPCs prepped as just in case something happened. So somebody can make a luck check, a dumb luck check, to see if you happen to be close by to some random house. Not likely, but you want high numbers, say 17 or higher.
Who's got the best luck?
Not me.
You,
Oh, it's
classically.
me. Oh, yeah.
Rolling at 20, man.
I'm on it. What do I add to that?
You don't add
It's
anything.
a 13.
You're not close by to a random house in the woods. You don't see, as your torchlight goes out, you don't see any lights around you shining through the trees. You're far away from anybody that lives here.
Is this an area that we've been a lot, though?
It's an area that Odessa knows. It's an area where this road goes out from Slate Cut and down towards Maplewood.
Maybe you know a spot?
That luck check shows that you would know that, as far as you know, there's nobody out here.
Okay.
I'd like to take an action to summon an NPC.
To summon?
Yes.
How's
It's
that?
called Summon NPC.
Okay, what do you roll for that?
Constitution with advantage
Interesting.
plus a d4.
All right, go ahead. Constitution with advantage plus a d4. What do you get?
Oh, Jesus. There's advantage with double advantage.
No. You already laid out the rules. What were the first 2 rolls?
It's a 5.
That means we only summon 5 NPCs.
What did you roll on the d20?
On the D4, I rolled a 1, and a D20, I rolled a 4.
Okay,
And
so
what
what's
was
your
the lower
constitution
one?
modifier?
Oh, 3.
So that's a 7.
We summoned 7 NPCs.
You try to summon NPCs in the cold and the rain, and you feel it fizzle. It doesn't work.
Isn't it an
Rats.
8?
That is an 8. That's
5
true.
plus 3?
8 NPCs. Whoopsies.
Embarrassing.
We caught him. Math.
But you're all standing around in the heavy rain now. Chops' body close by. Odessa, you don't think there's anybody out here. No cabins that you know of. No abandoned places to stay. You could construct a shelter. You have a hatchet. You could construct something simple to at least shield you guys from the rain. It would take a little while, but you could probably do that without taking on a level of exhaustion. Bee's house would be 1 level of exhaustion effectively away. Slate cut is 2. I don't know if the group sees any other options. Scratch, I think at this point you've been chasing Chops for a little while now. You weren't going to follow him, miles away. You just wanted to make sure he had to overexert himself for fear of you catching him. So you can eventually make your way back to the group in just a few seconds.
Could we construct a shelter over where Chops is at?
It'd be much easier to do it in the woods where you can use trees as part of the structure to hold up branches or hold up, make, the leaning shelters or whatever. If you wanted to, on the open road, you're making a little house, which would take longer.
Could probably drag her over.
Yeah, just
though.
You just drag
pull her in.
Okay.
All right, you 2 humans, hold on to my tail. And we walk over to the body.
He's got us on a leash.
Sleeves, as the 3 of you walk over to get Chops' body and drag it into the woods so you guys can begin to construct a shelter and shield her from the elements too to make sure she doesn't die. You can see in the low light of your dark vision that she seems like she's still breathing. It looks like she is stabilized. You would suspect if they were affected by the mutations in the same way that you and your brother were, that she also sees some kind of accelerated healing and the ability to refrain from death with sheer luck. Scratch, you can walk back up at this point.
Okay, yeah.
You and your brother are seeing in dim light and can guide Higgs and Odessa to a nice spot in the woods with Chops' body, where Odessa, you can buy fuel, take the hatchet, chop some branches, make little propped up shelters, with leafy branches and bushes and whatnot that you can cut down to at least get you guys out of the rain. And I think once you're out of the rain and you have a minute to catch your breath and decide what to do, you can even make a little fire here if you'd like to, since it's not being affected by the downpour around you. You gather some wood, strike the metal of the hatchet to make some sparks, and make a little campfire.
This is me blowing on it.
The flames go up a little bit. Careful, Odessa. You don't want them to get too big. They'll burn down the shelter.
My bad.
So
All right, I go to sleep.
it's only like
It's time for a long rest, right? That's what the DM said. We don't need to talk.
it's only like 6 or 7 p.m. at this point.
No, it's gotten a little later. So the sun went down a little earlier than maybe some of you were expecting, and behind the clouds made it extra dark. But it's probably 8, I'd say.
Okay.
Well, it's bedtime for sleeves at least.
Well, I think
Hey.
I think we want to have someone ready to strike on her when she gets up, right? So she doesn't lash out.
I could hold a gun to her.
That's true. They don't know we're out of bullets.
It's a good point. But also, it'd be funnier if Higgs just stands there holding the axe all night. Just waiting. He's ready.
She'll definitely attack.
I can maybe I could have it to her throat or something.
But we should also have someone petting her. Also showing good intentions.
We don't want to kill her.
Like good cop, bad cop. One
Like-
holding a hatchet to her throat and the other one petting her.
Can someone snuggle with her?
I'm the bad cop. That's kind of cool.
No.
No.
We don't like cops around here.
So is the plan to stay up until Chops comes to try and get information out of her while surrounding her to make sure she knows she's threatened and shouldn't try to move
But
or
also
attack,
comforted.
but also comforted.
Snuggled.
Who's snuggling?
Yeah.
Sumo Dessa.
Okay, I'll snuggle.
Snuggle how?
We're spooning.
Okay, that's what. See, when you said snuggle, I was like, spooning? No, surely not.
Could like lay her head down in your lap.
Yeah, you can have her
yeah, pet it.
petting it. That's much better.
Okay, my
Then if
bad.
anything happens, you can get her in a headlock.
Oh,
You're so
that's
strong.
Don't we have any
Smart.
rope we could use?
Or we got a little.
That's a better idea, actually. Even better.
I bet you guys probably don't have like rope, but Odessa with her survival skills could take, like very thin, flexible parts of branches from bushes to mostly tie Chops' arms at least.
Yeah.
But then that might subvert the comforting part.
It will get a good
That's
mix. Well,
Yeah.
we can also put her by the fire, so then it's like fire and pets
Smoke.
and tied up and
The fire is nice. The rain is pouring around you guys. It's a very eerie atmosphere being in the deep, dark woods in a rainstorm. You're not hearing any birds anymore. The only thing you're hearing is the fall of raindrops pounding on the ground and through the leaves. But the fire crackles and dances in the middle of the group. You take Chops. Odessa, you can, loosely secure Chops' arms so she wouldn't be able to at least get up and bolt right away. Put her head in your lap as you begin petting her to make sure she knows she's comforted. And Higgs, you can subtly stand with a hatchet ready to strike if something happens. After another hour or so, about 9 p.m. now, Chops, her eyes flutter open, and she looks at the group around her.
close her eyes.
Okay, you can rest now.
Good morning. You have some questions that need to be answered. No,
But don't
we have some
worry.
questions. Sorry.
But it's comforting.
You're the interrogator now.
But we're friends. But we're friends.
Really, it's like a cooperative interrogation. We're going to be asking some questions. You're going to be asking some questions. We're going to answer.
We're gonna trade.
You're going to
Yeah.
answer.
Shit. Where's Chops?
He left to get help for you.
I thought you were Chops.
We're both named. We've been over this. It wasn't even a day ago.
Well, you're not all that memorable. Are you the
Oh.
same Bobcats from earlier today?
Yes. In case you've forgotten, I started calling him Chops when we got our mutations and became super intelligent because his hair on the sides of his head. Oh, that's nice. Thank you for the pets. Yes. His hair on the sides of his head remind me of the mutton chops from a man we killed in the past. And he did the same for me. So I'm Chops and he's Chops.
Great story. Now, answer us these questions.
Okay. So, she tries to move her arms and she notices they're tied up. Okay, so the pets are nice. The tied up is scary. And you see, like,
Fire is nice.
she's reasoning out loud all the things you guys
Fire
reasoned
is so
about,
delightful.
Oh, yeah.
about,
Fire is
like,
lovely.
being comforted and being threatened and working out in her mind how she feels out loud.
It's complicated, isn't it?
It's okay. We know you're very strong, so we just want to make sure that, we're all cool here.
You see, she's looking around and she's dumb, like her brother's dumb. They're both dumb, but she's not like asinine. Like she knows to avoid danger. It's just her planning and strategy might not be all that good. But right now she can seize that she's surrounded by 4 people, even though she's being comforted. And she knows she's not going to try to run. It wouldn't be a good idea. She can see the danger there. So she looks at you and says, "What? Questions?"
Sleeves reaches into his pocket and pulls out a bunch of granola bars. For each question you answer, I'll give you 1 granola
What
bar.
the hell? Where did those come from?
From aerospace.
What?
Aerospace? What?
Hammerspace.
Hammer space?
It's like the dimension where villains pull out, things
Oh,
from
I
their
think I
pockets.
have heard that term before.
It's
Like
when you
I-
hand wave where the pockets are. It's the concept of hand waving pockets.
Oh, well, granola is tasty. I've only had it once before when we stole some. What's
Well,
the
maybe it'll-
questions?
Maybe it'll feel good to earn some granola.
What's the... Ask me a question.
We have questions. They're real. We prepared them ahead of while you were unconscious.
Yeah, we have questions, obviously.
All right, go ahead.
You think we'd just start interrogating you without questions to ask? Who do you take?
No,
us
that's
for?
not the question. Don't ask that question.
Wait, guys, I've got a good one. Why are you following us?
Too comforting.
She closes her eyes.
Hey, don't forget about the granola. Wake up.
I'm asleep.
No, you just talked to
Fine.
us.
What did you say? I didn't hear you. I was snoring.
Why are you following us?
We told you that already, moron.
Oh,
Oh, so you don't need a granola bar for answering that one.
right. Sorry, that one.
But we already told you. That's not fair.
one.
I should get a granola bar for answering that question already in the past. I should get retroactive granola.
There's no retroactive granola. It doesn't work like that.
Okay.
Wait, I thought I was the bad cop.
we
Who's the good cop then? Someone's got to give her some.
we were following you like we said because we were told you might be able to lead us to where the big mushroom is
They did
and
say
to
that.
report back if you did. And we found where the big mushroom must be, even though we couldn't get past those fucking trees. Not my problem.
Do you know why they wanted you to find the big mushroom?
She does the equivalent of a shrug. We do what we're told. We get the food. What do we need to ask questions for?
Who tells you what to do?
Now that's more sensitive information, so I'm not going to answer that.
But the granola.
But I fear for my life? Yes.
But you just died.
Yeah, but as long as I stay on their good side, death doesn't matter anymore. They'll just bring me back.
They can bring you back no matter what happens.
As you ask that, I think you're thinking through it, or maybe it triggers something in Sleeves, because you know your powers, you know the energy that flows through you, what it feels like. And maybe there was a time in the past where you tried to bring back to life using Revivify, some bug or something silly that Sleeves was doing, and you found out that that doesn't work indefinitely. There's a very, very small window where you can bring somebody back to life, and Chops seem to have the impression that like you can bring somebody back to life no matter how long they've been dead. Like Chops left his sister running off into the woods saying like, it's okay if she dies, I'll come bring him to heal you. Well, like if that's hours away from where he's probably going. Like she would be dead forever.
It wouldn't have worked.
It wouldn't have worked. They have a misconception.
Well, guess what? It doesn't work like that. There's a very small window of time to where you can be revived.
Well, that's not what they say. She like had to think for a second about not saying the name out loud.
Well, if you don't believe me, we can bury you and they'll never find you ever again.
So you're the bad cop too.
It's oops, all bad cops.
Just like real life. No, I don't want to be buried, thank you. I don't trust you to bring me back, and then they wouldn't be able to find me to revivify me after they dug me up.
So it sounds like you should tell us who they are.
But if I give away the plan, then I won't be on the team anymore. And if I'm not on the team anymore, then they won't revivify me anymore. And so then death becomes a problem again. So essentially, I fear for my life.
But then how would they know that you told us?
If I'm going to tell you and then you're going to leave and not go confront them, I'm not stupid. What do you think of me?
We could be like really secret about it. Like we heard it from like a friend of a friend. And
But
we just
we were the only ones who were told to follow you. Nobody else would have given you the information.
So there's no one else in on this besides you two and the guy that heals you and the guy that runs it?
Oh, that's clever.
She frowns. That's not what I said. I said that nobody else was following you but us. We were the only ones following you. So, if you found something out, they'd know it's from us. And if Chops is gone, then that means they'd know it's from me.
And if we already found out about Sam Doddridge,
Everybody can roll an insight check.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
It's an 18.
I also got an 18.
I got a 19.
He's cooking.
Insight 10.
It's okay.
I'm so everybody but Sleeves, unfortunately. Sleeves, you see no reaction. You think she's like stone cold. Odessa, Scratch, and Higgs, you see when Scratch says Sam Doddridge, the fire in the middle of you is like throwing shadows, and sometimes it's hard to like, facial expressions are shifted or something, or it's hard to see. But she does like a big wide eyes and frown. And then she says, Sam Dodley, who's that?
Now, you remember the name of your boss, don't you?
I remember the name of... That's a true statement. Sam Dodley is not my boss.
So if we were to go tell Sam Doddridge that we heard from Chops and Chops about his name, what do you think would happen to your ability to get revivified? Because we don't care whether it's right or wrong. We can just go start telling people.
That's not fair. I didn't say anything. You're not playing by the rules.
All's fair in Chops and Chops.
I mean, you already tried to kill us, so I feel like
Okay, you're still hanging on to that one. That was like forever ago.
Tried to kill us twice, actually.
Everybody gets 2.
So that means I get another shot right now?
She frowns and wide eyes again. No, just people named Chops get 2. Look, surely we can work something out here. You gotta throw me a bone.
Well, if we already know about Sam, and we already know your plan, like working with him, you might as well tell us more, because you're already screwed anyway.
You guys are messed up. I'm not gonna say anything. There's more information. You gotta give me something here.
Well,
I'm not gonna just throw things out there because you ask me to.
granola's still on the table.
Maybe like a measure of protection or something, man. What do you want from me?
What if we take you to your brother?
That's pretty good. No, but but what about if I tell you they're not gonna revivify me anymore?
Well, right now, for sure, you're no longer going to be revivified by Sam Doddridge when we go tell him tomorrow. But there is another person who could revivify you who's right here.
Here's a granola bar.
Not again.
I told you like 2 minutes ago that I wasn't gonna give up more information just for granola, moron.
But you
gotta help me here. I'll
could-
switch teams. I'll get Chops to switch teams. We can be on you guys' team. We just like the healer part. The angel heals us, and then you could be the angel instead.
Well, now your only option for healing is going to be Sleeves.
Exactly.
So you should start telling us information. So
Are you
Sleeves-
going to guarantee me that he's going to heal us, that we're on the team?
Well, he's pretty easy to befriend. You just have to, be nice to him and tell him all the information he wants to know.
Sounds like you're not answering the question.
I think we could all be on the same team here.
We can all get snuggles.
If I tell you, can Chops and I join your team? We'll work against them. We've got no loyalty.
Yes.
Is that the truth?
Absolutely not.
We don't really. I am a little worried about putting them on our team because of how easily they've given up information already. And that time they tried to ambush us and then gave us a surprise round.
Make a deception check with a help action once again.
Ooh, from Mr. Tentacles? No, just
No,
someone on the
just
team.
somebody, just from like Scratch and Odessa.
It's not good. It's really not good, guys.
I can tell you. Let's do it, and then I'll tell you.
Mhm.
The dice have their story. I might want to do something here, but the dice want something else. What do you say to convince her? And then, what did you roll?
Well, I think we could put this whole you trying to kill us thing behind us and go after the bad guys together. And I got a 7.
You see, she hears you say that, and she says, "That's all I wanted. Hell yeah! All right, we're on your team now."
Oh, they're so
She
dumb.
rolled a nat 1 on insight.
Yay!
Finally.
All right, what do you want to know?
Well, first, Sam is the one that heals you, right?
Yes.
How long has he been doing that?
Oh, since we've known him for a few months, since we've been together with this group.
How long have the angels been in town?
A few months.
What's Sam's intentions?
Sam mostly listens to Fernrow.
We got him.
Is that?
We got him.
Yes, we knew that already.
Wait, we can ask about.
Yeah, we all listen to Fernrow.
We can ask about B and Lucille at least.
Are B and Lucille in on this?
Those dolts? No.
What does the name Jove mean to you?
Are you misspeaking? Did you mean to say grove, like the trees?
Jove Clayton.
She looks bewildered. No idea who that is.
Maybe he's too high up the food chain then.
Well, what kind of, you said they've been sending you to go do things. What kinds of things have they been telling you to go do?
Well, mostly we've been sabotaging close by mining towns, trying to make people's lives worse. You know, like killing somebody or taking out somebody who's trying to form a union, that kind of thing.
What the?
It's pretty bad.
Have I been a target to you guys?
No, Slate Cut is kind of... They've got Slate Cut. They want, you know, somebody on the doing the legwork, running out to all the other company towns. I don't know. They don't explain that much, and we don't ask that many questions, but we're just told to, like, fuck things up a little bit.
Okay.
Who else do you know that's, like, in on this? Who else do you talk to?
Please don't say Ned. Please don't say Ned.
It's my first thought. Even though he wouldn't.
There aren't that many of them, because now it's them and not us, right, gang?
Right.
Besides me and Chops, there's Sam, there's Fernro, and then there's two of the miners. One is named Sally, and one is named Nimrod.
That's so biblical.
I remember him accidentally saying Sally instead of someone's name at some point.
But we haven't heard Sally in any other context. It was just...
True.
Odessa, you vaguely know these, but there's not that many people who work in the mines with you. There's
Named Nimrod.
At this time, Nimrod is a completely serious name.
Okay.
You know of Sally and Nimrod. There's not that many people who work in the mines with you. There's probably about 100 miners. Nimrod is one of them. He's not of note in any particular way. And Sally is married to one of the miners. Lots of people who live in town, like, have families in the company housing. Like, there's not, maybe like half of the miners have, like, a wife and maybe even some kids that live in the house with them. Sally is just the wife of one of the miners, as far as you know, also not notable in any particular way.
It's weird.
You know who shot Grape?
Oh, that was a fun plan. Sam shot him.
How did he jump off the cliff?
It's so funny that B said that Sam could never do that.
How did he jump off the cliff, though? We gotta talk to the moles.
Yeah, what was the rest of that plan? He shot him and then what? Or sorry, he shot
So
he shot me and then what?
Fernro was pretty mad after that whole debacle. He was going off. They were in the other room, but he was going off about, you verdict, something or other. He was pretty mad at Sam. That wasn't the plan at all. The plan was he shoots you, Fernro comes to get you, and then Sam would show up and be able to heal you. And then you'd be on our side. That's as far as I remember.
Can we look at the gun? That's Sam's gun then, right?
You take out the gun, make an investigation check. Probably just, unfortunately, Odessa and Higgs as, like, more familiar with the guns.
I have a +8.
You do it. Not me.
I'm gonna help Grape out.
Everyone's helping me out. Yeah.
All right, well, you still just roll.
I roll with triple advantage.
Yes.
That's a 25.
You pass your eyes over this gun in the light of the campfire. It is very fine craftsmanship. It looks old, though. This doesn't look like a gun that was mass-produced in a factory. It's still a very finely made gun, so its function is very good. It doesn't suffer from being old, but this looks almost like an antique handgun, not like antique with elegant,
It's got a white
wooden
pearl
handle.
down the sides, engraved 1D McCann.
Scratched out and then JS.
Beautiful pearl
No.
revolver.
It's not like a fancy like collector's antique. It's just a very old gun that was very finely made and has been cared for. It looks like, if that's the case, it must not be used that often.
Oh, I just got it. It's Cheshire Spray Horn.
I didn't get it.
He would scratch out an engraving on a pearl handle revolver.
He probably did. He took them from me.
Now we know.
So, the plan was to kill me specifically.
Yes.
What do you know about me?
Nothing.
What have you? They haven't said anything about why me. There was a person that they wanted to kill.
I don't think you understand where Chops and I are
Right.
in the food chain here.
Right.
We're at the bottom. Are you familiar?
I am.
He's at the bottom.
That's me too.
Yeah.
We're at the bottom of the food chain, right?
Although-
Most of what I know and I'm telling you right now have been picked up from eavesdropping. We're very useful to those. I don't know what you want to call them. There's secretive people. We're very useful because we can stealth and we can follow people in addition to the causing, sabotage. That's why they sent us to follow you. The cloak idea didn't work. I thought that would be a really fun one. Chops had that idea, and then I thought, yeah, we could talk to them and get information that way about where the mushroom was. They'll think we're a person if we're wearing the cloak. Didn't work.
Genius.
It was
idea.
genius, and for some reason, didn't work.
I always thought you were the planner between the two of you.
Chops has a lot of good ideas.
And when you say that, you're talking about your brother.
Yes, of course.
The one who got both of you almost killed.
That wasn't our fault. It was a good plan. It was a good plan. There was just a hiccup in execution. That was the problem.
What was the hiccup? Just so we can do kind of a post-mortem on that one. What happened? What
Yeah,
went wrong?
Odd.
Which one, with the cloak or the ambushing you guys right now?
Let's do both if you're going to join our team, just so we can get it out of the way.
Hiccup with the cloak is that we lost sight of you, but then we figured you were just like taking a dump behind a bush or something, so we didn't think anything of it. Then you got behind us and knocked us down, and then when you knocked us down, you could see we were two things instead of one person. So that's where that one went wrong. The problem with the ambushing you guys started too far away. Started too far away.
What's up with the cloaks? Where do you get those?
I don't know. They ordered them from somewhere.
Do they wear them?
Yeah, when they're going out and doing stuff. That's why we wanted a cloak, because they hide their identity so you don't know who they are. So we would have hid our identity and you would not have known who we are. You would have thought we were a person.
Well, I'll say, seeing you wear the cloak, we thought, oh, they're wearing the cloak that only people in that secret conspiracy wear. Therefore, this stranger must be part of the secret conspiracy.
Whoops.
Just letting you know for the next time.
It's all right. There won't be a next time because we're a team. What's the team name?
The Furries.
We're a team Furries. Oh, right. You said that in the huddle.
And now you get to be in all the huddles.
That's true. Oh, Chops is going to be excited for that one.
You guys are furry too, so you'll fit right in.
Yeah. This is what we talked about before.
So, that's like all we wanted to know, right,
Yeah, what's
guys?
next steps from here? Now that we know Sam's in on it for sure, we know the Reverend's in on it,
Right.
and they don't know about Jove, but I
Right.
assume Jove is still in on it.
Well, Scratch, you want to get your revenge now or what?
I feel a little bad. I won't lie.
Really?
A little bad.
What are you guys talking about?
No, don't do anything.
What's going on?
I mean, Sleeves is right here. I kind of want to also be a good example.
Okay, I guess I'm just playing bad cop again.
Yeah, very bad.
You're internally conflicted because this is you're not exactly sure which Bobcat back when they were unintelligent and you were intelligent, which one tried to kill you because they didn't have the distinctive features that looked very similar at that point. But like they were trying to kill you in Sleeves for food or for territorial reasons. You don't know.
And then when they became smart, they didn't stop trying to kill us. So that was also.
And then they became quote unquote smart and they stayed dumb and mean spirited, as we talked about. It angers you to see an animal do that instead of gaining more empathy like you guys did. However, it's almost like she and Chops are too dumb to be held
Yeah, I feel bad.
rightfully accountable. Like they're clearly being used. Like they would be used by you guys just as easily and willingly.
It's like if a kid did something wrong, you can't like punish the kid that badly because you're like, you gotta, measure the fact that it's also a kid that doesn't know what they're doing.
So like exerting your revenge right now would probably feel pretty bad. And I'd say it might, even with people who don't have the revenge thing, like Higgs or Odessa, it'd feel pretty bad to like snuff out Chops after this. She's so excited to be a part of the group.
That's true.
Especially when I'm petting her.
That's true.
Yeah.
She's kept,
Just playing some more bad cop. It's okay.
I'll get revenge enough just by reminding everyone that, Grape, congratulations, you're no longer bottom of the food chain. There's now someone below you on Team Furries.
All right. Filling out the bottom of the food chain. That's comfortable. Know that position well.
Do you know where Sam lives?
We've never been to his house. They don't invite us to some of the important meetings.
Where do you meet them?
We meet them at Fernro's house. He's got a big house out there. He drives and we kind of run behind the car. They drive in the car and we follow.
So sad.
Do you guys want to go to Furno's house during Sunday service when he's not there?
Yeah.
There could be some Jove evidence.
How far is it?
You wouldn't know where he lives. That would be information you would have to get. It's not a bad idea per se.
We could just ask Chops to take us there.
That's true. You could.
That's true.
You would still need to like have Chops actually be a part of the team.
I guess that's true.
I can make that sacrifice, right? That seems totally worth
Maybe
it.
I
You guys?
agree, yeah.
maybe
You
we're
guys
coming
agree?
around a little bit more.
Yeah.
As a reminder about context that's going on, you've got half of Chops right now. The other one is potentially running off to Slate Cut, so that's something to keep in mind about what's going to happen with that, where he's going. And Chops seems to flip really easily, so as long as you keep her with you, you're pretty solid. Like, she's not going to be persuaded, but as soon as there's confrontation, you don't know how likely she is to stay loyal to you. That's context, and I'm not trying to dissuade you from the idea you had, Ethan, but I just want to remind you of like everything you might be thinking about right now as Scratch.
So I'm gaming this out worst case scenario. Let's say we take Chops that we have to the Reverend's house in like the morning when it's not raining anymore. Right? Sunday morning, they're gone. We can go in the house undisturbed. But then like Sam will be told by other Chops, hey, Sister Chops went down in the woods. You got to go save her. The furries did this. And if they track the scent, they will eventually track us to the Reverend's house.
But we'll be there first.
I assume by then we could be gone.
Yeah. And I feel like what will happen is Sam will probably be like, I'm sorry, like there's nothing I can do.
Well, I don't know how important Chopses are to them.
Probably not that much.
If it feels like they're the only intelligent animals they're working with and they also rely on them to like sabotage a bunch of the towns, maybe they're like decently important because you can go send them to do things that you don't want to do.
But if like Sam actually couldn't revive her, then like
Oh, that's true.
then he has to like be like, well, I actually can't
That's
save
fair.
her life.
Then we're fine. I
Then
think even the
Chops
worst case
will, like-
scenario is not that bad.
Then that'll make Chops like not want to help them, right? Like
It's true.
I
That's
think
true.
he cares more about his sister than about them.
And also, if he comes after us on his own, that's a great opportunity to bring him into the fold. It's only if
Exactly,
he's around and the angels are around that I'm like, I don't know if our Chops is going to flip on us again. So I'd prefer we get both of them in on the team before there's any confrontation.
Yeah.
Can we track the other Chops before he gets to?
He's got a big lead and he's exhausting himself to run faster. I'm sure he's going to make it a Slate Cut tonight.
But neither Sam nor the Reverend live in Slate Cut.
That's true.
So what is he doing in Slate Cut?
Probably just waiting for them Sunday morning.
We can catch up, and then we could prevent them from ever knowing where the mushroom is.
And then we can talk to the moles also.
I don't think we can catch up today.
Yeah, it's
It's
getting later in the night. It's probably
Still
9:30 or 10 now. You've got one level of exhaustion since you cast Aid and you went to 4 to 4 sleeves. So you do have a level of exhaustion, and it's cold and raining right now. So it's probably like you'll have to rest before you go. So then it will be Sunday morning. Like if you went right now, in addition to your one level of exhaustion, everybody would take on 2 to get to Slate Cut. Who knows how many more to get to Reverend Fernro's house? Just warning you, the rain is pouring down still. It hasn't lightened up. It's not like getting to morning yet. Conversation has been happening for only like half an hour.
Okay,
We could long rest now and then go Reverend's house in the morning.
I cast teleport.
Oh, at what level?
Takes on 4 levels of exhaustion.
Immediately collapses. Can't walk, can't move.
If Sam was the one that shot me and then he jumped off of the cliff and we saw him die, how is he alive?
Do I know how?
You would have a feeling about magic you can cast, and Higgs, you're even still feeling it right now. If you remember what Beatrice said to you about what she cast on you.
Could have cast like Death Ward on
It
himself.
seems like the angels are the same kind of thing that Sleeves is, even though they're humans and he's a fox. They seem to have access to the same kind of energy. So you would know Sleeves that he would also have the ability to cast, quote unquote, whatever you feel Death Ward is. And that's not like a good scenario. Like if he lands and breaks everything in his body and remains on 1 HP, he would have had to immediately start like using a ton of energy to heal himself and
Probably, like,
stay
limp away.
alive and not bleed out. And then so he would be in a pretty bad shape today. That was only a day ago. He would be very, very exhausted.
So would I know would I've used that spell before?
I think you probably might not have had a reason to, unless like you discovered most of your magic after you saved Scratch's life. That was the close call that you two had with death,
Okay.
right? Between then and now, like the only other thing has been saving Higgs's life. So it's just like been revivify and revivify, right? There's been no like, we're about to die, let me cast Death Ward on me and my brother. Like that hasn't really come up. But you
Okay.
know you have like a feeling about being able to do that kind of magic.
Okay. So reword as like, if A equals B, then subset of A is equal to subset of B.
If you'd like, you can just say you relay all that to the
Oh, yeah. Sleeves relays all that to Grape.
to Grape and to everybody else around.
We're all listening though. We're
Yeah.
also here.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
So if we face Sam tomorrow, he'll probably be very, very tired. You know, I know what happens to tired people.
They
need to take
die
naps.
easily. Oh, what were you gonna say? What were you gonna say? Huh?
They need to take naps.
Oh, okay. That's what I was saying also.
I mean,
We were saying the same thing, I think.
from what it sounds like, if we just confront the Reverend and Sam, that's all they got.
Have you never watched Game of Thrones?
What?
You know the scene where Ned tells Cersei that he knows about the incest.
Okay.
Just like that. But tell me how and explain why.
And explain what the scene is.
Yeah.
Okay, so Joffrey is Cersei and Jaime's son, but they're siblings. And so obviously you don't want the king, who is Cersei's husband, to know that his son is not really his, but in fact offspring of incest. So Ned, being the honorable fool he is,
Ned Hatfield, yeah.
yeah, Ned Hatfield, he tells her, and then Cersei, of course, out of self-preservation, has a plan to get rid of Ned.
But they already
So in this
tried to
scenario,
kill
are
me.
we
And,
Ned?
and Higgs, you're hearing Sleeves like jabbering on about something. It's mostly nonsense. You're not sure what's going on. Anyways,
So we're Ned, and if we confront the Reverend, who is Cersei, then they'll try to kill us.
Then who's Sam? I'm confused.
it's okay. Yeah, Higgs, you get that feeling and like the feeling of danger in there. This isn't going to be like a classic like kid story. Like we confront the bad guys. Haha, got you. And they, you know,
We unmask
snap- you unmask them and they snap their fingers and go, ah, rats, off to jail with us. Like they'll probably just try to kill you again.
We unmask them, and they're both jokes.
They did shoot you the last time.
Yeah, they shot you the last time, but it sounds like Sam was being reprimanded. It sounds like from Chops that Sam was being reprimanded about panicking and not being more level-headed and running off instead of potentially trying to kill you again. So that might be the only reason that you're still alive.
And he
is
also-
because of a young man's like, the plan didn't go exactly as I was told it would. What do? I need to run.
He also threw the gun away.
So you guys are sitting around the fire. You'll probably need to rest for the night. But what's the plan when you get up in the morning?
One more point I want to bring up. I know the moles are probably back in Slate Cut at this point, but we asked them to go check out the body, which we now know was Sam, who didn't die.
So we no longer need their information.
So there's no information we can get from the moles besides getting the 4 bullets.
Can we at least get the chops?
Depends on how early we can get there and how late the Reverend and Sam show up.
What time do the angels usually show up and when can we get there?
So needing 8 hours of rest, right, for long rest.
Yeah.
If you went to sleep now, you'd get up at 6. It's still a couple hours to get to Slate Cut from here, maybe a little over a couple hours. So you'd get there a little after 8. If you got up at 6 and went right away, you would know that Odessa, that'd probably be around the time Sunday service is starting. It's not like everybody's on a clock here. And not everybody has a watch. Most things are done by the sun in the sky. Most people go to Sunday service when the Reverend is ready, and like they see him there with the angels, and people will head over. But it'll be around that time that Sunday service starts. So it'd be a little hard to you don't know where Chops would be at that point, because at that point the Reverend and Sam and the other angels, for that matter, Lucille and B, would be at Sunday service, presumably.
So I feel like if we can get there, if we could have gotten there like well before the angels getting there and then talk to Chops and leave before Sam shows up, that would be different. But if he's going to talk to Sam anyways and say, oh, my sister went down, the furries did it, then I don't see any urgency in getting him. Let's just let him come after us later.
Yeah, the
And
hard
then we'll be
trade-off to get there before them is level of
Walk
exhaustion.
through the night, yeah.
Yeah.
I really hope they're calling us the Furries in their conversations.
Well, he knows. Brother Chops knows we're the furries.
Yeah.
But I guess we sleep through the night, then we go to the Reverend's house while he's gone for Sunday morning so we can snoop around. And
You want to get the bullets for? You'd basically have to go through Slate Cut anyways.
Oh, okay.
like when he drives into town, Odessa, you don't know where his house is, but you know his car goes, like when he leaves, he goes out of town, like he takes the road the other direction. So
Then we can
essentially,
stop by the bullets anyways.
That's true.
it'd kind of be on the way.
And then we can pop into Sunday service and say, "Hey, Reverend, we're heading over to your house. See you later." And then we can leave.
We'll
What are they
race
gonna
him.
do?
I'll steal his car.
Oh,
Guys, wait,
boxes
let's
and
discuss
cars.
really quick. Do we want to steal his car?
I want to steal his car. Wait a minute.
Where does he park his car? You know.
Odessa, you would know, like the outdoor chapel per se is like across a small footbridge on the other side of the stream and like the hills. So it's not like something you get a car to. Like he parks on the road, kind of outside that area.
Like out of eyesight of where he preaches from?
Probably not out of eyesight. Probably like a short distance away from the outdoor
Yeah,
chapel.
but I think if we take it, what is he gonna do?
It would
Run
take him
after
longer
us?
to get to us.
Who knows how to drive here?
I can drive.
Now I'm tempted to say we steal his car, but I don't know if that's actually better. I just know it's funnier.
It's
think
good to get rid of
we
his
can-
transportation.
we can leave that to like when you guys
Yeah.
are in Slate Cut.
We should probably be like sleep, go to Slate Cut,
sure,
meet the
yeah.
moles, and then
Then
decide
we'll go from there. Yeah.
Probably go to the Reverend's house. Depending on how we get there, we might steal the
confident
car.
We could steal his car and then take a few shots from his car on the way out.
You'll have 4 bullets. You'll be drowning in bullets. That's so many.
So we should rest for tonight, and in the morning head to Slate Cut and see if we can get the bullets from the moles, and then figure out how we're gonna get to the Reverend's house.
Yes. I could take you to the Reverend's house once we're in Slate Cut. We kind of came here through the woods, so I don't know where we are.
Yeah, we'll get you to Slate Cut. Don't worry about that part.
Okay.
All right, I go to sleep.
All right. Everyone drifts off to sleep, preparing for the challenges you all will face tomorrow. Higgs,
Oh no!
It's still happening.
This is the second time I've gone to sleep.
Higgs, your dreams are muddled for a time.
Higgs, it's a test and you didn't study for it.
You hear different things flashing around you, different anxieties. Slowly powering over those muddled sounds and flashes, and growing steadily, is the sound of wind, of leaves, of canopies, swaying in the breeze. The sound suddenly comes into sharp focus as you turn around. You don't remember at what or where you were looking before, but now you're in the forest, trees all around you. It feels familiar, however, it's evidently not the forest that you've been traveling through for the last couple days. These woods are alien and strange. The trees are oaks and aspens and such, but tower hundreds of feet overhead, as tall as great redwoods that you've heard about on the coast in the CCA. What's more is that most all of them are visibly mutated. Some have strange, reaching branches that move to and fro, blindly searching for things. Others have those same eyes, like the aspens, dotting the trunks near the meteor. Others are fortified with armored bark like stone or needles like cacti. Others still move and sway with a buoyancy in the wind like tall grass in a field. Most trunks are wrapped with red tendrils growing from their bases up from the ground, which sprout bright red shelf mushrooms from the sides of the trees. You see those same red mushrooms in clusters everywhere else too, all over the forest floor, growing like large bushes from the ground in between quote-unquote regular vegetation. It's bright and cool in these woods. Sunlight filters through the canopies high overhead and diffuses to the ground, warmly wrapping around you and illuminating your surroundings. You hear birdsong around you, but strangely less like chirping and more like melodic singing. The earth is covered in green and red grass and fallen leaves. A short distance away, plowing through the underbrush, some of it actually consciously seemingly moving out of the way, a log-sized stick bug type creature with 8 short arms walks along, paying you no mind. Your attention is pulled away all of a sudden as you hear laughter and voices in the distance. You see, as you turn, a break in the trees. Ahead of you, there is a cluster of cottages with people sitting outside in the sun talking. One of them you could swear looks like Odessa, or maybe what her mother looks like. You're not sure. Near them, children play, climbing and swinging from the antlers of a mammoth-sized deer that stands stoically and happily as other children chase each other and run around it. You take a step towards the community. Your eyes open, awake, looking at the forest above you. In the early morning, as all of you start to wake up as well.
Good morning.
Guys, I'm having another dream. It happened again.
The sun shines brightly now in the morning, but the earth is still damp and cool. Muddy patches, some puddles still reside around the campsite. The air is a little humid, but not all too unpleasant. Birds chirp with the sunrise. And that's all for this episode of Fire and Smoke, Blight and Bloom. If you're enjoying the show so far and want to keep up with it, follow me on my personal Dungeons & Dragons TikTok account at WitchJumphy, WHICHDUNPHY. And if you feel so inclined, we would greatly appreciate if you left us a review on whatever application you're using to listen to the show.
Feywild time. Feywild time. Or is
Kinda.
Is it the
Anybody
cereal
else have anything
play?
they want to say
Weird
before the end of the
version
show?
That's pretty cool. It's pretty nice. We should just get rid of cities and do that instead.
Everyone should have a mammoth-sized deer.
I want to say that Ethan correctly predicted the plot.
Did I?
Yeah, you figured out that Sam was the bad guy.
Guess that's true, yeah. But I was given 3 options.
Sam is Jove.
And also, he said all of the options and said keep whichever one turns out to be true.
No. Cut that out, Phillip. Cut that out. Cut that out. Sorry, let me give you one more. Sam Nightingale? It's the wrong show. Sorry. 1 sec. Sam Doddridge isn't Jove, but is affiliated with Jove, working under him. Just so if you could insert that back in the last episode.
We'll put that back in the
Basically, immediately after we hear the name Sam Doddridge, just make it seem like I have to give the prophecy.
Game time, Ethan?
I'm back on. Last week this week I'm a game developer again. I changed my mind. I'm still doing it. Come find me. My YouTube channel is called Whistle Factory. It's named my studio. You can come see a little update, work in progress type stuff about the game I'm working on. You'll find more up-to-date details there.
Anybody else have anything they want to say before we sign off?
I'm hungry.
I am hungry
So
too.
hungry. This guy doesn't let us eat until after we've recorded a certain number of episodes.
It's in the contracts, actually. You're not allowed to sleep or eat until we get 5 in per day.
And I'm not sure if that's legal.
They all signed the document. They can't do anything, all right? All right, see you next episode.
Slate cut.